Let's talk about it.
Yo, what's up, family? So I'm back again. I'm gonna dive into a part two of a subject I hold very, very dear to me. We're gonna dive into Christianity a little deeper. There'll probably be multiple parts of this. At some point, I'm gonna address religion as a whole, but I just really want to start here. You know. A few numbers I just want to throw at you guys. I was in LA recently. Shout out to LA. And one of the things that I noticed, I won't even say, to be honest, it was the main thing that I noticed. The amount of homeless people in LA. And coming from New York, the polar opposite of the map, it's almost depressing to be in a place that's supposed to be known for its allure and its beauty, and you see the sheer number of people that this environment has swallowed. It's actually a really ugly thing. It's really sad. I don't even know if this is a real number, but somewhere over 60% of the people in California are homeless. I hope that's wrong. I got it off Google. I just kept getting the same number, which was weird. A little scary. Hopefully somebody could shed some light on that. But I found another number that I thought was interesting. I'm speaking more so of California. 65% of Americans identify as Christian. It's a large number of people. And that's as of 2019. Significantly lower than 75% in 2015, 85% in 1990. That's a little before I was born. Almost all Americans identified as Christian. With 62% claiming to be part of a congregation, yes. I was having a discussion with someone on the subject, and they said, you know what's interesting? How many social media influencers are in California? And you always see the beautiful parts of it. I kind of reflected on it myself, dove into it a little bit, just to put the duality of it. And a lot of them do identify as being religious in some sense. This ideal that because they wake up, they go to work, and that they pray is the reason why they're in the position they're in. And I don't want to assume, but it has to be that. Because there's no way you can be around so many homeless people, see so many people, just scattered, thrown to the street. And no one talks about this. Like, this is not a popular subject amongst influencers, amongst people who are supposed to be guiding people towards being better. My Christians, your outreach, missionary work. You think that's real? To put yourself in a bubble where you feel comfortable giving people information and where they can receive it easiest. And then you go outside and you go to your day-to-day life and you look at the average person and you don't apply any of these concepts to them. I'm not saying we don't do outreach, not saying Christians are terrible. That's not my point. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm talking about this mass idea that because someone has been seduced, by the idea of false spiritualism, that it's okay to go around condemning people, right? Because that is supposed to be one of the driving forces in America, even though there's supposed to be a separation between state and religion. I don't know how we got there, but it's supposed to be one of the driving forces. And how can your driving force be something that's divisive? Something that wasn't even intended to be divisive. But in the hands of people, look where we are. And it's not that I want to see the end of Christianity, but where are we going to get if we don't at least talk about it? You got to at least know you're a schmuck like everybody else so you can try to be better, right? I guess. 700 million. Let that number rattle around a little bit. So I Googled something else, right? I Googled how many people were killed in the name of Christianity. And regardless of what page you go to, you're going to find so many different arguments. You're going to find people going back and forth, people saying that the data is skewed because of this or because of that, because of this. But the number is usually pretty consistent, right? And if you want to, like, I could just talk about, like, from what I know personally, like from my own experience with history, with Christians killing people, the Crusades, for starters, right? The transatlantic slave trade was done in the name of Christianity. The Alchemenda system, Manifest Destiny. You guys got a serious body count. If I'm not mistaken, if you throw in the colonization of Africa and early Asian regions, you guys probably have the highest kill count. I think you are outpacing all of the mass murderers. In the name of Christianity. I'm trying to make sense of it, right? Because we have these things called mega churches where large amounts of money are being funded into. And somewhere, I don't know where it is, but you're supposed to pay your tithes, right? You're supposed to give 10% of yours to the church. And of course you want the church nice. You want the church to be a place of worship. But at what point does the church give back to the community? I'm not talking about letting them use your basketball gym if they come to Bible study. I'm not talking about giving to charity for tax breaks. Millionaires, some of the biggest figureheads of this religion, which is crazy to have not even gonna get into it. Millionaires. Upwards of 60% homeless in California. It doesn't. But why is it your responsibility? You tell me. You came in the name of all that is holy, and then you ask me, why is it your responsibility? I don't have much and I still give. I take the time. That one crazy dude that's losing his marbles, walking around talking to himself. The best I can do for that person is not treat them like I'm afraid of them and release. I have a healthy fear for my own safety. I know how to exist with people like that. It's a challenge. Go to the neighborhoods where you find your unsavorables, your undesirables, and exist. I don't mean hide, I mean exist. Not assimilate, but exist. And really learn the human complex and what makes people tick before you decide that you are going to be a symbol of something that's supposed to be righteous to people, because you are seducing people towards sheer ignorance. You see, at some point we all get a chance to forgive. We all get a chance to look at things candidly, objectively, and say, you know what, I could have been better in that moment. And I wish I could have gone to another level and handled that better. And that is what Christ meant when he said that everyone would have a chance to come into knowing of God. It's about you to choose it or not. That wasn't cue for go around and beating it into people's heads. That's not, you're not a patron, you're not a missionary. Bro, no, stop it, right? You don't have enough life experience to be a missionary. You don't have enough life experience to go on missions, helping people. Life experience is subjective. You compare what you've been through with someone next to you and go, oh, okay. When you compare your experiences to the people that we quote our things from, when you compare your experiences to people like Christ, because that is what Christianity is a quote of Christ. When you compare your experiences to people like that, tiny, you are unfit to be in a position to be leading people into the new age. That one moment you have where you could have been better, that one moment where you wanted to forgive, that is what Christ meant by everyone's opportunity to come into faith. And the only thing you've managed to do as a community is take that moment away from anyone who doesn't think like you. As a human family, we can do much better than that. In the name of Christ, you can do much better than that. And all you California influencers, start talking about the homeless people there. Like real talk, it's kind of corny. You leave them just left out like that. That's a big problem there. I was all up in it. I was all up in it. Downtown LA, Studio City. I was even arguing with people, and these are people that have never even left California, right? And they're trying to tell me, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. If you go this far, it's beautiful. It gets beautiful again. Everything is not overbuilt, and everyone's not poor. Okay. Where I'm from, in New York, right? You go 2 hours in any direction, it gets beautiful. I'm saying New York is beautiful. That ain't the point, bro. Listen a little deeper. We'll be back to the subject at some point, but I just really had to talk about it a little more. Peace. Wait, just 1 second. I got to get this off my chest. First off, praise out to Baruch. Praise out to all the people that may have lost someone out there, or if even this tragedy has impacted you in any way, even if it's just psychologically from observing the terrible things that people do to each other sometimes, the terrible things that happen to people, the things that we can't control. I don't want to point any fingers, but this is also not a platform for you to stand up and blare some form of religious trumpet, especially not in the name of Christianity. Not in the name of Christianity. Do a little research on the history between your faith and how it affects the Lebanese, please. Understand certain things. I'm not gonna, just do your own homework. Be genuinely sorry for people. There are things that are bigger than what you call faith. Your faith only goes but skin deep. When you reach a deeper depth of humanity, then maybe we could accept you as being faithful to something.